what you accept, baby. Check your mindset. If you want a different life, you gotta raise the price. Expect what you accept.
Hello. Welcome to Expect What You Accept podcast. I'm your host, Doretha Bailey. Here we will have discussions on identity, mindset, and transformation. Allow this podcast to be a mirror and a guide. Are you a leader at home or in a business? Are you no longer wanting to shrink to make others feel comfortable? Well, this is the place for you. This is going to be an opportunity for you to be the best version of yourself. We together are going to be the best versions of ourselves. Today's episode is going to be about reclaiming yourself. And I couldn't think of any other guest than a very special one. Please help me in welcoming Sonia Smith, my mother.
Welcome, Ma.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm really appreciative and very proud of this moment for you.
Well, thank you. I'm going to introduce you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to write it down.
Okay.
Today's guest is the definition of resilience, innovation, and leadership. With more than 30 plus years across defense contracting and federal industries, she has built an extraordinary career serving in senior leadership roles in IT, business development, and project management. Her journey reflects not only technical expertise and strategic vision, but the ability to lead organizations through complexity with excellence and purpose. But what makes her story even more powerful is who she is beyond the titles. She is someone who never waited, the tears, for permission to grow, lead, or evolve. When opportunities seemed limited or non-existent, she believed in creating her own path, in proving that barriers are often invitations to build something greater. Her career is a testament to perseverance, courage, and the power of refusing to let circumstances define her future.
Wow. Okay.
You have been the blueprint to my life. And one of the things that you have shared is with myself and my siblings as well, is that we were to exceed you. And you made it a little difficult of a path to do it. But I think one of my favorite paths is just what you've gone through. And it's not easy raising a daughter, especially, the oldest one and being there. And one of the things is you raised me hard. And there was a point that I thought that you just didn't like me. And remember, you and I had that conversation.
Yeah, we did.
And you said, no, I need to make sure you don't go through what I went through.
Absolutely.
And, I didn't know what that meant until I had to go through my own. And I remember when I found out that my ex-husband wanted a divorce, and I had to go take an exam that day. I drove down. I was in your house, and Nana happened to be visiting you as well, too. We're in your bedroom. You're in front of me, and Nana's in the back, and I'm just crying. The way y'all poured into me to give me strength is unfathomable. And I often go back to that place sometimes. And you literally gently put my head up and said, stop crying. You need to prepare. And you told me what I needed to do. And then I didn't cry for 2 years, after that. So I remember when I finally did cry, I called you, and I'm sitting on the stairs crying, and you asked me some questions. And then I was like, well, yeah. So he didn't do anything. You're right. And from there, I left. I think I was gone like the next month. I left Virginia to Florida. Didn't have a job, didn't have anything, was just on a hope and a prayer. But I ended up, landing what I needed from a career perspective and was able to sit there and build my career. I have exceeded your career. It took me a while with all the beautiful degrees that we'll talk about that you've gone through and certifications. I have now reached it to not only being an executive in corporate, but also an author and a proud daughter. And I'm feeling so blessed that you got an opportunity to see me do this. Versus me talking up to the heavens saying, Mom, I did it. So share with everyone your journey.
Well, thanks for the introduction. I was looking around trying to see who you're talking about. No, it's not easy raising children, especially a daughter or daughters. And as the oldest one, you had to be prepared to take care of your younger siblings if something happened to me. So the big thing is I saw in you what you didn't see in yourself. With a little girl that said, I can't read, and they thought that you need to be in special ed, when I was like, no.
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen. Not my daughter. She's okay. And so as I pulled you out and they said no, I was like, yeah, okay. I don't believe in no. So, pouring into you was easy. Getting you to a point was easy. I didn't want you to go through what I did. I never shared or showed y'all what I was literally going through with your father. However, I pushed you and made you, and all of three of you actually, but you more because you needed that more.
I was a little hard-headed.
You were a lot hard-headed. you were
very strong-willed.
Very, very strong-willed. But one of the things that I made sure is I don't care how strong-willed, how bullheaded, and how you don't care, whatever, you're getting a degree. Yeah. Now, whether or not I have to drag you to that classroom, you're getting a degree. So, you did exceed me. I wanted you to exceed me because that was my job, to make sure that you got better and in a better position than I was. At times I lost jobs in corporate America because of the color of my skin. And so I didn't want that for you or for any of my children. I lost a home because of something other than what I did, but what was done. I walked through a divorce. Probably best thing that ever happened. But I did that. But I didn't want you to feel as if you failed because you didn't fail. It wasn't your fault. So, there are things and times where you and all of you needed to grow and to see. And I'm hoping and I thank God that I set the example to show you can fall all the way down and lose everything and still come up on the other side.
Let's talk about that. I'm first share a story when you were like, oh, hold on, you got to do a little living on your own. So for the audience, I was in the military. I was a grown woman and I had partied all, weekend. It was Sunday, the mess hall. I slept through it. And I remember going through the phone books. Yes, that's how old I am. So going through the phone books, and I saw that Pizza Hut took credit cards. At the time, I didn't have credit cards. So I called my mother. Now, I'm all of a beautiful 21 years old. So I called my mom.
In another state.
Yeah, I was in Kentucky. I was at my first duty station at Fort Campbell. And I called Mom. I was like, hey, Mom. Hey, what you doing? I said, well, I'm hungry and Pizza Hut takes credit cards. Can you order me pizza? Without a hesitation, she says no. What do you mean no? She was like, no. My mother has never told me no. I have always been able to sit there and convince her. You're like a good negotiator, right? That's one of the things that she taught. Without any apology, she said no. And from then on, I've been doing things on my own without reaching out to my parents first. And that was the lesson with the simple no. So it's one of my favorite stories, because of the fact of it helped me be a little bit more independent because I got everything I wanted. I had no idea of some of the financial hurdles that you guys had because we got everything that we wanted. I had my own room. We had houses, like all this beautiful stuff. But let's go to your origin story of you becoming a parent from the time that you were 17 to 18, living in a different country into just your career path.
Well, I got married at 18. Right out of high school.
Okay, hold on. But this is in the month of June. You turned,
I turned
18 in
June. Graduated 7 days later. Got married 3 days later. And left New York the next day, going to California. Never, ever living outside of my mother's house, my mother and father's house, or outside of New York itself, period. Didn't know anything else existed at that time. Thought that, a happy-go-lucky kid. Okay, I got married, whatever that means, And so, but then, reality really has a way of slapping you in your face. I'm living in an apartment in California with a man I don't know and saying, well, what the hell I get myself into? And so then you turn around and it's like, okay. And then, bam, I get pregnant and trying to figure out, what's wrong with me? I'm sick. And then I, going to the doctor and realizing, okay, I'm having a baby. Oh, right. Well, all right. And then got orders going to England. Pregnant. In another country. With this man and this baby that wasn't born yet. And I'm saying, oh, heck. Okay. And I'm still this happy-go-lucky trying to figure out the world. But then here you come. Later, and I remember you were born, you looked at me, and I'm looking at you, and you looking at me out the incubator saying, all right, I'm here. What you going to do with me?
But you know what? There was a sign, too, because I got stuck, you guys. My head got stuck.
Oh, my God.
Because I've always been nosy. You said a nurse dropped something, and I decided to turn.
Oh, my God.
So I was a pain in her ass, literally, from the time I was born. But
girl, we don't want to get in that because you were really a pain. But, yeah. And so then you turn around, and it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so my sister didn't realize that she figured out she's in England. She has never touched a baby, had a baby, known anything about a baby in her life. So she came. That's probably why you're still alive. Because she came in and helped me for a month. So then, after a while, coming back to the States and, going through a lot of things, I went through some stuff. So I decided I was going to leave. And I packed up. Then Vaughn came right behind you. And so I packed up and I left. But I could not take care of the two of you because I couldn't find a job. And so I couldn't take care of the two of you.
So you went back to New York?
I went back to New York. And I was determined I was going to take care of my kids. But then it's like, okay, well, I couldn't. And I wound up going to California.
So you went back with them?
I went back with them.
Yeah.
And going to California. But then I had a plan. I said, okay, so you can't get a job with a high school diploma and no skill. So you've got to develop a skill and you've got to get a college degree. So the only way you're going to get that skill is through having a college degree and really breaking your behind and working. And so I had my plan in my head, went back, and I needed to work my plan. And I worked my plan. I went back to school, to college. And my goal was to be a lawyer. I don't know how I got to be in IT. But I went and I planned and I worked it. I went to school and I remember working in McDonald's. And there was this lady, the manager was a big, heavy set woman. And she was like, oh, we got to talking. And she said, well, so, you got kids? I said, yeah. You're married with kids? And she was mad. So she gave me every crazy job in McDonald's because she was mad because she wasn't married and I was married and I had kids and she didn't.
Wow.
And she gave me every crazy job. And I said, you know what? This is not for me. I took the test for the federal government. At that time, you had to take tests for the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Took the test for the federal government, passed it pretty high, but I still worked at McDonald's, and I was planning on leaving. I said, I can get in the federal government. I could, work, still raise my kids. And so then wound up getting orders going to Germany. And it was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Germany. I'm still finish my degree.
By this time, now you're a mother of 3.
By this time, I am a mother of 3. Mm-hmm. But I thought I was dying with the third one. Right? I didn't want to believe I was pregnant again. Right. And I just knew I didn't want to be. So my goal was, oh, my God. Okay, no, I'm dying. Doc, figure out why I'm dying. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, well, maybe you pregnant. No, I'm dying. And so that kept staying in the back of my head.
Right.
And it's funny, the crazy things you go through your head as you're going through, I don't want to call it a transition, or it's as you're going through something, mm-hmm. right? And so, in the non-belief that you want it to have, and regardless of what somebody's telling you that's the truth, you're blocking it out and saying, no, I would rather take the death penalty. Than sitting down and having another kid.
Pregnancies weren't easy for you at all.
No, they wasn't easy for me at all because I almost died with 2. So I was like, the third one's going to really just take me out. Mm-hmm. So then I wound up, okay. But when I found out, really, after all the tests and stuff, I just took off running.
Yeah, like physically running.
Like physically, like out the house running down the street. Not knowing, I was just running. I didn't have no destination.
Right.
So though, as time went on, my son, the only boy, great kid, man.
Yeah.
But so I finished my degree in Germany, worked on degrees.
Where'd you get your degree in?
I got my first degree in computer information systems. Mm-hmm. Then I said, well, I got the degree. I'm not getting another degree. I'm good. But I did wind up going into the federal government and working as a data transcriber first, and then working as a secretary. And, even in, I washed dishes in between doing all of that, getting into the federal government, really solidifying my career. Not knowing where God was taking me. Mm. Okay, not knowing why and what I'm going through is what I needed and had to go through to land on this side where I am right now. Mm-hmm. So, and then I got, my master's in business in information telecommunication systems. So I know telecommunications, I know computer science, information technology, and so working through all of that and then getting into the fields, I finally got, I was working as a secretary, and then when my boss knew that I was IT, had an IT degree, he said, oh, I need you to then revamp this travel system. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, I just got a degree.
It's like, okay, I got to figure this out.
Yeah, right. But it's figuring it out. Mm-hmm. Right? It's, he told me to do this, and I'm going to figure it out. There was never a no in my vocabulary that I can't do it, or it's just like, okay, I need to figure this out. And this was all before the internet, the Google, all of that. You literally had to pick up a book and read, or go back to the the learning and understanding that you had when you were in college.
So you have gone from high school, you're living abroad. You lived abroad for years, right?
Oh, yeah.
And be able to sit there and travel. You sat there and got a total of 3 degrees,
yeah.
right? And then you have some certifications as well. You've been working since what age?
12.
12 years old. You're going, you're at a point where you lose your job after working 30-something years.
Yeah, that part. At first when I lost it, I didn't think about it, right? Because I got out, went to corporate America out of the federal government. I said, okay, I need some more skills in order to get a higher grade in the federal government. My goal was always to go back into the federal government, but with, more technical skills so that I can command a higher grade. Mm-hmm. And so when I lost it out of corporate, I was like, okay, I got certifications, I got clearance, top high level clearances, I have skills. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get a job because I've always gotten another job. I've always changed companies and got another job. Well, a week turned into a month. Okay, it don't take me a month. Month turned into 6 months. And then I started panicking. And then 6 months turned into a year.
While you're going through that, you're also going through a divorce.
Yes.
It just started. After how many years?
After 36 years.
So big, it was just a domino effect of things just happening. So big shift and change in your life was taking place.
I don't think it was a shift. I think it was like the 10 on the Richter scale of an earthquake. Okay. It was like, okay, Lord, I don't get this one.
Yeah.
But as I'm going through, I never lost my faith.
I remember that. I remember there was a couple of things because you had a lot of naysayers.
I did.
You
Absolutely.
had a lot of naysayers. Just take this job. Just go do whatever it is. Don't try to sit there and rebuild whatever it is, right? You should just accept whatever,
yep.
Is coming your way. And you very calmly said, God didn't tell me that.
That's right. He never told me no. Mm-hmm. He may have told somebody else no, but God didn't tell me no. And we have a conversation. We have a relationship. So if he don't want me to do so, he's going to tell me no. Mm-hmm. And that's not what he told me. And so when people are telling me, nope, you can't, why don't you do this? That's never going to happen to you. You're never going to get this grade. You're never going to succeed. You're never going to finish this degree. You're never going to, never. And I was like, well, God ain't told me no, though.
Right.
And so even as far as living here in Georgia, mm-hmm. It was, oh, no, you'll never live in Georgia. Your boss is never going to let you live in here. I said, but God didn't tell me no.
Yeah.
And he's never told me no. And when there's something he wants me to know or to see, he tells me. He doesn't tell anybody to tell me.
So one of the things is you are at, I want to say your lowest, but you're at a moment where now you're working at, with all these, accolades and these degrees and everything that you have achieved, you are now in Walmart at the deli.
My lowest was being homeless. Living from house to house with my daughters. That was my lowest.
Yeah. That was hard to see. And so the hard part to see was you crumbling. And you and I go back and forth with that, is you have always been a pillar of strength. Mm-hmm. And I literally had to pour in to you what you poured into me. What you're doing, what's going on, pouring into you, going through all of this stuff, that when I look back at it, it's a blessing as well, too, is because I was able to sit there and say, I have you, even though God is guiding your footsteps, right? He's carrying you along. It's a part of that vessel of being there for you, and going through it. Then,
but all of that had to happen.
It did. Then it gets to a point that now you're in the federal government. You're not missing a beat on a salary. You're back to your 6 figures. Mm-hmm. And then I get sick.
Yes.
and you find out later why I got sick. And I can't move. I can't breathe. You know, I'm dying.
Drive you all the way to Georgia.
Yeah, but before that, you know, when they got to a point where they were able to get me to a certain place, meaning just being stable, I'm like, can I go to Georgia and, you know, the hospital? Yes, as long as, you know, you have this care. And we had to stop every 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And you packed up my whole entire townhouse.
Oh, I did.
And it was interesting. It was
the craziest thing.
Absolutely. It's did I have a degree by that time? I did.
Yes.
I had one degree by that time. But what I saw is now I'm divorced. You know, I've been living on my own for a while, and it was the hardest thing is because when I was living on my own, I knew nothing about rent, utilities, gas, absolutely nothing, because I was always taken care of. You know, I was living in either military housing, in the houses that you had. The military had took care of me, and then now I'm out and I got to figure out what this is. Like, what do you mean I got to pay for water? You know, so I was robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay David, you know, type of thing, trying to figure, I didn't even know what credit was. And here I was in my 20s.
Right there.
It was, you know, you absolutely was. No, you absolutely did. And so,
but though,
there was
standing there with you was also showing you can do it on your own. You just gotta stand
you did.
up.
You're definitely that pillar, because I was just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And shopping in your basement for food was the hardest thing ever. And I remember one time I could not even afford
I remember
Christmas gifts for my kids. Mm-hmm. And I remember crying. And I told them, once I get my degree, you don't have to worry about anything. And so it's like it's compounding on top of compounding. Mm-hmm. And so now we're fast forward. I'm sick, going through this stuff. And I was able to stay in the apartment that they told you weren't able to get. And you were living in Virginia and in Georgia.
And in Georgia.
You know, and then I was able to sit there and get myself back together and my career. And I knew that I can finish my degree because I watched you go to work 2 jobs, raise kids. We never missed a meal, never missed any sports. And you would stay up nights and everything. So I knew, well, she could do it. I could sit there and do it. Mm-hmm. And now it was my time to kind of show up for you. Then to watch you move out of that apartment and build a house.
Yes.
And I have a picture of you crying, signing the documents. I have a picture of you and Nana sitting on the stairs in your brand new house crying because you did it. And it's one of those things of I have no reason to complain because I watched you sit there and do it. Even in your lowest moments, I literally watched you reclaim yourself in your journey. You lost the weight that was down. Yeah. Your faith never wavered. You know, I watched you go in and out of depression, but keeping your family, your grandkids, you are literally the center of where everybody goes to, you know. And one of the things you've been saying lately is, why does everybody keep thinking I'm just strong, right? Even from a physical strength.
I know, right?
Thing,
yeah.
To, you know, all of that is one of your legacies that's, you know, that's out there.
See, when you say about losing the weight, that wasn't even a choice, right? Because I've been walking. I have a picture that was given to me that says stepping out on faith. And in that picture, it shows tumultuous weather, storms, dark, but then God held out his hand. And the woman's blindfolded and she was walking into his hand. And I've had that picture for a while. And God said one day, go look at that picture. I was like, I've seen that picture forever. I don't know why I got to look at that picture again. Right. He's like, go look at the picture. And I went and I looked at the picture. I said, I'm standing here. I don't see anything. And then I saw the picture. And I said, okay. So after that, I walked past the mirror. And I walked past this mirror, me and my fat self, several times. And I said, I backed up and I turned around and I said, oh, that bitch got to go. But it wasn't just the weight that had to go. It was everything that the weight
represented.
Yeah. So as each pound shed off, that was something negative that happened to me fell.
So to give a little context to the viewers is she's always been athletic. She always before, even raising us, as I mentioned before, she always was at the gym 3-4 o'clock in the morning. She would always run. 3 miles is her running. Of what she did. And there's a moment that you lost yourself as you're talking, and then you regained it. And she went right back to on it, and she's never gained that weight back. You're not running your 3 miles every day like you used to.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, are you?
I've gone back, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I know, right?
So what would you like viewers to know if going back from this, if you're going from a lesson of your journey of reclaiming yourself and that there is light at the end of the tunnel and never give up, what would that be? And tie that to expect what you accept.
Yeah, if you expect to change, but you accept the status quo, then nothing's going to happen. No, there's going to be no changing. There's going to be nothing. You're just saying, okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this, but you're still accepting the negativity. You're accepting where you are. I will tell you that life, mm-hmm. Okay? And it's hard. And yeah, we're talking, and it may sound like it was a little easy. It was rough. However, still keep that faith. There's a reason you're going through what you're going through. But there's also another side to that. You're going to go through depression. You're going to cry and scream, because behind closed doors, I screamed. I cried. I didn't understand, and I questioned God. But I knew, though, that there was, if I didn't fight, I would have never survived. If I gave up, I would have died. So there is no give up. There is something great for you. Just stay the course and expect greatness, and accept the greatness that you're going to get.
That's beautifully said. They get a nugget of what I've gotten to hear throughout the years. You're beyond phenomenal.
Thank you.
And
yeah, okay.
You are, Mom. Take it, brush it off.
I backed off.
So when I wrote this book, I've been writing it for years.
Yes.
And go back and forth. Even had some apparel that was, around it for years.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that the book finished and you started to read the book, what nugget or what did you learn in there about me? Either from a nugget that you've learned, just period, about something that kind of gave you like I didn't think about it that way, made you start pondering, or something that you learned about me that was in the book that you didn't know?
The strength and the knowledge that you have in this arena. The power of the words that's in this book is going to help a lot of people. The whole you. That's why you're where you are right now. That's why you're head of HR. That's why you're where you're this power person. Because the words in this book and what you've gone through, experienced, and seen gave you that leg up, gave you the, I don't have to settle for mediocrity. Regardless of what I showed you, you had to be able to take that and run with it. And you did. You didn't jog, you sprinted. And I'm proud. I'm more proud of you than you can ever imagine.
No, I appreciate that. One of the things I will say, about the book is, and there's been some other things that you have and I have been doing from intentionality standpoint of getting to know each other, is it's not as mother and daughter, is as women.
Yes.
And looking at each other through the lens as women, we now get each other. We're no longer fighting against each other, as we've gone through things. And you said it before. I know I made a comment when I was 16 years old that you remember. And it's so funny. She remembers it, but I don't. But I can hear myself saying that is, I will never be like you.
Yeah.
And I turned out just like you.
To where you look exactly.
Exactly. It was the craziest thing. Even when I went and got you today, I looked, I was like, is our hair the same?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, which I've never said anything about this at all. When you mentioned it to me, I was like, I don't remember, but it's something I can say. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it harshly. I just took it as this bratty 16-year-old, right, who thinks that she know more.
But at the end of the day, it still had weight because
it had a lot of weight.
You bring it up all the time.
Because there's different things that you do.
Right.
And I said, I thought you didn't want to be like me.
So, but in front of the world, I want to apologize because I have never apologized to you for that statement when you brought it to my attention. And I am like you. And I'm happy, to say that I'm your daughter. I'm happy to look like you, sound like you.
I know, right?
And, congratulations on retirement.
I know, right?
You retired, kept the house, got cars, you like the whole thing. You are living the life when others said that you could not.
Yeah. And never have to work again a day in my life.
Unless you want to.
Unless I know I'm done. That ain't happening. No, I'm done.
No, that's good. But at the end of the day, you made it. No one broke you.
No.
Yep.
No. They tried.
Yep.
But God said no. Now that's when he said no. That's when he said, nope, nobody's going to break you. And I thank you because I didn't break. It was rough roads.
Yeah.
The water was bumpy. There was sharks and gators and everything else in that water.
No.
But
I'm going to share something real quick and wrap up as we go through here. I had the journey of watching you from the very beginning reclaim who you are and understand who you are. Mm-hmm. We were in Walmart and we're shopping. This is like you're fresh into the legal separation before you get into the divorce. And you were like, oh, the Jets. And you were all excited and you put whatever it was in the cart. And I just looked at you and I'm like.
It was a shirt.
Was it a shirt? I was like, you like the Jets? And you looked and you was like, I don't even like football. Yeah. And you put it on. And that was literally your journey into your healing.
Into the beginning of claiming who I am.
Yes.
And expecting a change and accepting the change. That's you can expect anything, but you have to accept it. Yeah. And so the acceptance was, okay, who am I? Take time to find you, figure it out. It took 5 years, and I'm still going through figuring it out, but I'm okay. I
forgot to ask you, who are you?
I'm phenomenal.
Oh, I like that.
I am phenomenal. And that's who I am. I'm not a victim. I'm not scared. I have no fear. And I walked through fire and came out unburnt. no scales, no smoke, no nothing.
Well, you guys see where I get my strength from. As we get into this, I want to go ahead and thank everyone for taking the time out of your day to listen to this podcast. How inspirational. You can see where I get my strength from. And not only that, I feel poured into just overall. But this episode is sponsored by the book, Expect What You Accept. Don't forget to click and hit that subscribe button, and see you on the next one.
Used to make excuses for the way I felt inside.